With the YouTube adpocalypse still looming over many channels, if you want to support this one, check out my Teespring store for the latest merch. Alright, let's talk about Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios and what's going on right now with X-Men. Because there's not much, but it's something. It's something. It's a little bit of something. Right? It's a little bit of something going on there. Now, Kevin Feige is waiting on a call to bring the X-Men to Marvel Studios. And this is one of the biggest, most annoying things that happens in regards to the to this whole situation, is that waiting game. Now, it says here that even without the X-Men and Fantastic Four at its disposal, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is huge, and there are still tons of characters for Kevin Feige at Marvel Studios to mine as the films continue to dominate at the box office. Right now, Disney is currently going through the regulatory process, hoping to acquire most of 20th Century Fox's assets. Now, the big talk about this one here is Comcast, obviously, right? The Comcast kind of like, throwing a little bit of shade at Disney, saying like, look, we offer cash. You're offering stock, we're offering cash. And the whole reason why they're offering cash is because they want to compete with AT&T and Warner's, right? And the next paragraph does talk about this here by saying, even this in and of itself is not a done deal due to what will probably be an intense scrutiny from the United States government's antitrust division, the outcome of the AT&T Time Warner merger trial, and Comcast still waiting in the wings to make a move. And with this decision is being made by others as well, well above his pay grade, Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige is still waiting for approval from on high about whether it will indeed be possible to eventually integrate X-Men into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And here's the thing. Disney, like I said, they offered $52.4 billion in stock, right? In stock values. And that looks good because Disney stocks generally tend to do very well. And this kind of deal would actually really increase the stock value, which would go and make, Fox and Rupert Murdoch, those guys, a lot of freaking money. But at the same time, Comcast coming in with like $32 billion in cash, as well as other stocks and assets for the purchase of Fox and its assets. That's going to be enticing as well, especially to Rupert Murdoch, because right now, and this is honest to God true, looking at the cancellation of Roseanne as well as the bombing of Solo in the same time dropped the stock value of Disney. And actually twice in 2 days, it dropped underneath Netflix as being the most valuable media company. And that is not going to be good for the deal to go through. That's not going to look good on Iger's part, trying to work this deal with Murdoch for Fox's assets, because if their stock value drops and all they're offering is stock, then that's not going to be as good instead of $32 million. But at the same time, Comcast only gives a shit about this deal if the AT&T Time Warner merger happens. If the FTC's antitrust division decides to crack down on it and say no, or you shall not pass, then it's going to go away. Comcast is not going to care. They're not going to care. They're going to walk away because there's no point, right? There's no point. So that's kind of where we are with that story right now. It's like I said, the next couple of weeks, as Disney and its shareholders vote to move forward, as Fox and its shareholders vote on what to do, and as Comcast sits there just kind of like, making it rain in regards of what could happen, it's going to leave a lot of people very, very, very curious. And of course, X-Men and Fantastic Four, this is a big one. This is what people want. People want X-Men in the MCU. Fans, I think, will like lose their shit if it doesn't happen at this point, because it's been teased, right? They've been gently caressing your testicles for a while over this, and it's getting to the point of where it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to finish. If it gets blue balls on me anymore, I'm just gonna get mad. But when it comes to whether or not what's going on with Feige and all this, at the Produced By conference this year, which is going on right now, the Marvel Studios president was asked about the state of the franchise currently under his watchful eye. As expected, the question about the possibility of integrating X-Men into Marvel Studios came up during the discussion. Given that this discussion was not Feige's call to make, he merely expressed that he's waiting on the call about whether he can or cannot bring the mutants, currently still under Fox's ownership, into the MCU. And then according to Dave McNary here, Feige just says, I'm just waiting for a call saying yay or nay from people far above me. Of course, it would be nice. And that's all I can really say about it right now. And I would have argued, had this Comcast thing not come up, has not been a big deal, ultimately we would have seen some changes. We would have seen a couple things be a little bit different. And unfortunately, this is where we are right now. So stuff is getting intense when you've got this you've got these two companies kind of fighting for the love of Fox, and you got to ask yourself, would the X-Men be better served working over with Universal? You know, I've seen some people argue like, oh, Universal, that killed the, you know, the Dark Universe franchise and a few other things. They obviously don't know how to run an extended universe, or they don't know how to run a popular franchise. But need I remind them that Despicable Me, those movies have cleared 1 billion. Minions and Despicable Me 2, I think, or Despicable Me 3, I think, crossed 1 billion as well. You've got the Fast and Furious movies that have been grossing 1 billion. That's with Universal. You've got Jurassic World, which is also, again, going to pull in gangbusters. It's $140 million just in its opening weekend overseas. It's expected to make that here when it opens in a couple weeks. So Universal can run some stuff. They can also hurt some stuff, but they can run some stuff. And it's not like, you know, if they did X-Men, it would be any different. But they've got, you know, I'm pretty sure at that point they would probably look at Disney and just go, You guys want to license the characters? You did it with Sony, because that's a smart play. That ultimately is a smart play, to license the characters to Marvel like Sony did with Spider-Man, and that's kind of where it's at. So I do think that the X-Men and Deadpool will eventually make their way over, one way or the other. And in fact, this is just kind of just a random thought I'm putting out there. If the Universal gets these franchises, imagine this for a second. What if they were the ones? They would be the ones to go in between Deadpool, X-Force, and Disney, right? So it'd be like that could be an area of protection. But at the same time, I don't want Comcast ultimately owning these characters, because Comcast sucks.